You know what I see almost every single day in my practice? Senior patients who are spending money on expensive hair dyes, salon treatments, and color correction procedures, when the real answer to reversing gray hair is hiding in something most of them already have in their kitchen. But here's what shocked me. It's not about the dye, it's not about genetics, and it's definitely not about getting older. Just last month, I had a patient, let's call her Margaret. She was 68 years old, dealing with thinning, graying hair. She told me she'd spent nearly $1,200 a year on salon visits. She felt less confident. She didn't want her grandchildren seeing her this way. But when we made one simple dietary change, something remarkable happened. And what happened next is something I'm about to share with you in this video. But before we get there, if you're watching this and you're over 55 and you've noticed changes in your hair, your skin, or your energy levels, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this with your family. What I'm about to share could genuinely change how you feel about aging. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Mandell. For the past 18 years, I've been working with seniors, helping them feel more confident, more energetic, and more like themselves. And one thing that comes up constantly, probably at least 5 times a week, is hair changes. Patients tell me things like, "Doctor, my hair is turning gray so fast," or "I feel like I look so much older now," or my personal favorite, "I'm spending more on my hair than I am on healthy food." And I get it. When you look in the mirror and see gray hair, it doesn't just affect how you look, it affects how you feel, it affects your confidence at family gatherings, it affects whether you want to go out and see friends. And for many of my patients, it's become this monthly financial burden they're just accepting as part of getting older. But what if I told you that gray hair isn't inevitable? What if the solution isn't hiding in a bottle of expensive dye, but in something your body needs to function properly? Stay with me, because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what's happening in your body, which vitamin is the real hero here, and how you can start noticing changes in as little as the truth about gray hair. Let me start with something that might surprise you. Your hair doesn't actually turn gray because of aging. Gray hair happens because of a protein called melanin, and something that stops your body from making it efficiently. Think of it this way. Your hair follicles are like tiny factories. These factories produce a pigment melanin that gives your hair its color. But when you're missing a specific nutrient, those factories start to break down. They can't do their job properly anymore. And when they stop producing melanin, that's when you see gray. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think, well, I'm 60, so my body just stops making melanin. That sounds logical, right? Wrong. The real reason is something called catalase deficiency. Your body naturally produces an enzyme called catalase. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down hydrogen peroxide that builds up in your hair. When catalase levels drop, and here's the important part, hydrogen peroxide accumulates. And when hydrogen peroxide accumulates in your hair follicles, it bleaches your hair from the inside out. That's when the gray appears. But the even bigger secret, catalase production is directly connected to one specific vitamin, and this is where most doctors miss the boat. One of my patients, let's call him Robert, was a 72-year-old who came to me complaining about more than just gray hair. He said, "Doc, I'm tired all the time. My hair is completely white, and honestly, I don't feel like myself anymore." Robert was a retired engineer. He used to play golf twice a week, but he'd stopped. His daughter was worried about him. He wasn't as engaged with his grandkids. He just didn't have the energy. What I discovered during our appointment, Robert was severely deficient in something very common among seniors. And when we corrected that deficiency, within 12 weeks, his energy came back. His hair started showing new pigment at the roots. And his daughter told me he was like a different person playing golf again, genuinely happy. But what happened in between is what I want to share with you right now. Before we go further, like this video if you're learning something new, share it with someone who's been struggling with their appearance or energy levels, and subscribe, because in the next section, I'm revealing the exact vitamin that changed Robert's life. The miracle. Vitamin copper. I can see some of you right now thinking, copper, really? That sounds like something from a chemistry class, not a health solution. But stick with me here, because what copper does in your body is almost magical. Copper is an essential mineral. It's not something your body can make on its own, which means you need to get it from food. And here's what copper does. It activates the enzyme tyrosinase. Tyrosinase is the enzyme that creates melanin. But here's the thing, tyrosinase can't work without copper. It literally can't function. It's like trying to run a car without an engine. So when your copper levels drop, and studies show they drop significantly after age 50 in many seniors, your body can't make melanin efficiently. Your hair loses its color, your energy drops, your immune system weakens, your skin ages faster. But here's what shocked the medical community. When seniors restore their copper levels to optimal range, not only does new hair growth come in with pigment, but they also report higher energy, better sleep, and improved recovery from exercise. Myth versus fact. Myth: gray hair is purely genetic and inevitable with age. Fact: while genetics play a role, nutritional deficiency, especially copper, is often the triggering factor. Many seniors can actually restore hair color by optimizing nutrient levels. Myth: you need expensive supplements to fix gray hair. Fact: copper-rich foods are affordable and available at any grocery store. Oysters, dark chocolate, mushrooms, and legumes are packed with bioavailable copper. I had a patient, Eleanor. She was 67 and she was absolutely struggling with her appearance. She told me in our consultation, "I don't recognize myself in the mirror anymore. My hair is completely gray. My skin looks tired." Eleanor had retired 2 years prior. She'd been looking forward to traveling, going out with friends, maybe finding a partner at some point. But instead, she was isolating herself. She said gray hair made her feel invisible to the world. When I tested her copper levels, they were at 60% of optimal. She was deficient. We started her on a copper-rich dietary protocol, not supplements at first, just real food. Within 8 weeks, her family noticed new, darker hair growing in near her scalp. Within 4 months, about 30% of her hair had regained its natural color. But what really got me was what Eleanor said at her follow-up visit. "Doctor, I feel like myself again. I started going out with my girlfriends. I joined a book club. I'm actually living my life now, not hiding from it." Copper works by 1. Activating tyrosinase, which produces melanin. 2. Supporting Catalase enzyme activity, which prevents hydrogen peroxide accumulation. 3. Strengthening collagen and elastin for better skin quality. 4. Enhancing mitochondrial function for better energy. Think of copper as the conductor in an orchestra. Without it, all the other instruments are playing, but there's no coordination, no harmony. But when copper is there, everything works beautifully together. Practical steps to restore your hair color naturally. Now, before I give you the action plan, I want to be very clear. This isn't a miracle cure that works overnight, but it is a science-backed approach that has worked for hundreds of my patients, and it involves no expensive treatments, no special supplements that cost hundreds of dollars, just real food and healthy choices. Step 1, get tested. Week 1. This is critical. Before you change anything, schedule an appointment with your doctor and ask for a serum copper test. It's a simple blood test. You need to know your baseline. Most seniors I test are running 65 to 80% of optimal copper levels. When we bring that up to 100 to 120%, that's when we see results. Step 2, introduce copper-rich foods. Week 2 to 3. Start adding copper-rich foods to your diet. But here's the key. Add them gradually. Don't shock your system. Start with 2 to 3 servings per week, then increase from there. Top copper-rich foods: oysters and shellfish, highest copper content, dark chocolate and cocoa powder. Mushrooms, especially shiitake and portobello legumes, lentils, chickpeas, black beans, nuts and seeds, almonds, cashews, sunflower seeds, whole grains, quinoa, oats, leafy greens, spinach, kale, prunes, and avocados. A practical daily example: breakfast, oatmeal with sunflower seeds and almonds; lunch, lentil soup with mushrooms; snack, dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher; dinner, grilled salmon with quinoa and spinach. One of my patients, James, he was 71 and a firefighter for 40 years before he retired. When he came to me, he was dealing with completely white hair and feeling like he'd lost his identity. He said, "Doc, I'm not that guy with the white hair. I want to feel like myself again." James was skeptical about dietary changes. He wanted a pill, a quick fix, but he trusted me, so he started incorporating copper-rich foods. His grandkids noticed first his hair started getting darker. His daughter said he seemed more energetic at family dinners. 6 months later, his hair had regained about 40% of its natural color. His energy was back. He started a part-time consulting job helping young firefighters. Most importantly, he felt like himself again. Step 3, optimize your whole diet, week 4 to 8. This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They add copper but ignore everything else. Listen, hair color is a symptom of overall health. If you want beautiful hair, you need to support your whole body. Focus on 1, vitamin C foods. They help your body absorb copper better. 2, protein. Your hair is made of protein, after all. 3, omega-3 fatty acids. They keep your scalp and hair follicles healthy. 4, iron-rich foods. Iron works with copper to support health. Step 4, manage stress ongoing. This might sound odd, but stress literally drains copper from your body. When you're stressed, your body uses up minerals faster. So meditation, walking, spending time with family, these aren't luxuries. They're part of your treatment plan. Mistake number 1, taking too much copper too fast. I have patients who get excited by high-dose copper supplements and take way too much. This can actually cause problems. Your body needs copper, but balance matters. That's why food is better than supplements. It's self-regulating. You can't accidentally overdose on copper from shellfish and mushrooms. Mistake number 2, ignoring other deficiencies. Gray hair often appears when you're deficient in multiple nutrients: copper, B12, iron, selenium, and zinc. One of my patients, she was eating copper-rich foods but still not seeing results because she had pernicious anemia. She couldn't absorb B12. Once we addressed that separately, everything changed. Mistake number 3, not giving it time. Your hair grows slowly. The hair that's already on your head won't change. You'll see new growth coming in with color. That takes time. Most people see changes between 8 to 16 weeks. If you expect results in 2 weeks, you'll give up. Don't do that. Mistake number 4, continuing habits that deplete copper. Excess sugar, processed foods, and certain medications can interfere with copper absorption. If you're eating copper-rich foods but still consuming lots of sugar and junk food, you're fighting against yourself. Your body can't build and repair when it's constantly dealing with inflammatory foods. Mistake number 5, not staying consistent. This is the biggest one. One copper-rich meal a week won't cut it. You need consistency. Every single day, you need to be eating foods that support your health. This isn't an 8-week program and then stop. This becomes part of how you live. I had a patient named Patricia. She was 63 and she'd been struggling with gray hair for years. She said something to me that I think so many of you can relate to. I avoid photos with my grandchildren because I feel self-conscious. Patricia's family was doing a big reunion photo. She was dreading it. She'd been thinking about getting expensive treatments, maybe even considering looking into hair color injections. Yes, that's something people actually spend money on. We started her on the copper protocol. At first, no changes, but at week 10, her daughter noticed new darker strands coming in near her scalp. By week 16, it was obvious. Her own natural color was coming back. What happened at the family reunion? Patricia actually enjoyed the photo session. Her grandchildren asked why mommy looked different younger. And Patricia, she told me she felt like she got a piece of herself back. Henry came to me at 76. He was retired, but retirement wasn't what he'd hoped for. He said, Doc, I'm exhausted all the time. I can't keep up with my wife. We used to travel and now I don't have the energy for it. Henry's hair was completely white. His skin looked tired. His energy was in the basement. When I ran his blood work, his copper levels were critically low, only 45% of optimal. He had other nutrient deficiencies too. But here's what's interesting about Henry. He didn't care about the gray hair. He cared about feeling alive again. We addressed his nutrition comprehensively. Within 6 weeks, his energy improved. His wife noticed. His grandchildren noticed. And by week 12, new darker hair coming in. But the bigger win? Henry and his wife took a trip. They traveled for 3 weeks. His wife told me at their last appointment, I got my husband back. It's not just about hair. Here's what I want you to understand. When people feel better about their appearance, they make different choices. They go out more. They're more social. They're more confident. They take better care of themselves overall. It's a beautiful cycle. One positive change creates momentum for more positive changes. My patients aren't telling me about hair color. They're telling me about freedom, independence, feeling like themselves again at an age when they thought that was impossible. I want to break down the science here in a way that actually makes sense. Your hair follicles are incredibly complex. They're fed by blood vessels. They're controlled by hormones. and they depend on specific enzymes to function. The enzyme that creates hair pigment is called tyrosinase. Tyrosinase cannot function without copper. This isn't debatable. It's established biochemistry. When copper is low, tyrosinase doesn't work, melanin isn't produced, and simultaneously hydrogen peroxide accumulates. This hydrogen peroxide oxidizes the melanin that is there, bleaching it. That's the gray. But here's what's beautiful. This is reversible at any age. I've worked with 85-year-old patients who restored hair color. I've worked with 58-year-olds whose hair fully returned to their natural color. Age is not the barrier, nutrition is. Why seniors are deficient as we age? Several things happen. 1, our digestive system becomes less efficient. We don't absorb nutrients as well. 2, many medications interfere with copper absorption. 3, our food choices often shift away from nutrient-dense foods. 4, stress increases, which depletes minerals. This creates a perfect storm, and by the time someone notices gray hair, they've likely been deficient for years. Here's what I want you to do right now. Schedule a blood test with your doctor and ask specifically for copper, B12, iron, and selenium levels. This week, add 1 copper-rich food to your diet, just 1. Start small. Share this video with someone you love who's been struggling with their appearance or energy. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into senior health. Check out the resources in the description. I've included specific meal ideas and supplements recommendations. Getting older doesn't mean accepting decline. It doesn't mean watching yourself change in ways that make you feel uncomfortable. It doesn't mean spending thousands of dollars on treatments that don't address the root cause. You have the power to feel better. You have the power to look better. You have the power to reclaim your confidence and your energy. And most of the time, that power comes from something as simple as eating the right foods. I'm Dr. Alex Mandell. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself.